Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Visible puts unlimited 5G data and hotspot in the palm of your hand. Powered by Verizon's 5G network, with no contract holding you back. And for a limited time, you can get Visible for just $19 a month for 12 months when you use promo code SAVE6. All the features of big wireless service for half the cost. Tap the banner to switch today. Terms apply. Standard rate applies at month 13. See Visible.com for plan features and network management details.
Hey, welcome to Coach Unplugged. Coach Flitter and I he has convinced me to run a free clinic. He has convinced me to let you listen to a couple episodes of Coaching Youth Hoops, which I think will be really pertinent to you as a basketball coach. And we got some great free giveaways. So I'm going to let him take it from here. All right. Let's head off to the podcast.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. I'm so happy you decided to join us. Before we get started today, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shoe machine on the market. I've said this multiple times. We own 3 of them. I want a 4th and a 5th. My AD's listening to me, but they're so great. They work so well. They're so easy to set up. I think my record is 37 seconds or 32 seconds to set it up. But mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off. Mention Coach Collins, they'll take really good care of you. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's everything you need from a nationally ranked. We won 3 state titles. I think we were just talking recently, we've won over 460 games in our program and lost 130 over the last 20 years. And I think we know the secret sauce to be successful, the roadmap, what it takes on and off the court. So go over and check it out and enjoy the podcast. Bye.
Hey, welcome back to the classroom. Today I want to share with you some ideas that will help you win club games in the summer. Now, you might think, why is that so important? Well, for a couple reasons. One, the more games that you win in the summer, the more you can progress into the winner's bracket through some of those tournaments, the more exposure that you can get to your players, which is, for a lot of club teams, that's the main reason why they're participating in these tournaments and why they're playing in the summer. The other thing is that as you progress through the winner's bracket, the more games that you win, then you have a chance to play extra games. So you've already traveled, you've already paid for the tournament. Why not play 6 games instead of 4 if you can? And you can do those. You can do that if you win some games. So I want to share with you today, 3 simple ideas. The first one is just have an abundance of talent. Now, I know that sounds, kind of obvious, but club ball has changed over the years. When I first started getting involved with club ball in Southern California, there were 2 clubs teams. There was one in Los Angeles and there was one in Orange County, about an hour south. And that was really it between LA and San Diego. Well, now I'm willing to bet you could literally find 100 club teams in that same geographical area. And that is true all over the country. And what that means is that the more teams means some of those teams are really watered down, where it used to be if you played club basketball, you knew you were good and every team was really, really good. Well, that's not always the case right now. And so that old adage that says the team with the best players usually wins, that is more true in summer club ball than anywhere else. Let's face it, with club teams, there's less coaching, there's roster changes, players are playing out of position, all kinds of things that equal more offensive and defensive breakdowns. And so a lot of times it just comes down to who has the best players. So if you want to win games, you need at least one skilled go-to player that can kind of take over the game when everything breaks down. If you want to win the tournament, then you need at least 2 or 3 extremely skilled go-to players that can do the same thing, that can take over a game. Okay, the second thing that you can do if you want to win summer games is press. Full court man, full court zone, 3/4 court, half court trap, run and jump, doesn't matter. All of the above, combinations of all of the above, it doesn't really matter as long as you press. Pressing has a tendency to wear teams out. And since most summer teams are traveling, they're not sleeping in their own beds, they're away from home, hey, a lot of these kids are either not sleeping well or they're not sleeping enough. And they don't have the energy to play at a high level, either mentally or physically, day after day after day. The other thing that pressing does is it takes teams out of their offense. And it forces them to go to plan B. And a lot of times plan B is whoever has the ball attack the rim and everybody else try to stay out of the way. And that type of offense is much easier to defend than when all 5 players are moving and involved and are a threat to score. The other thing that happens is that in an effort to assemble all-star teams, which what a lot of clubs do, sometimes players end up playing out of position. So you might have a player that normally plays the 3 or 4 on his or her high school team, may suddenly find themselves being the point guard on a club team. And, one good, well-executed press could blow the game, wide open at that point. The third thing that you can do is play some zone. So lots of games in a few days generally equals tired legs, which generally equals poor shooting. Plus, there's a lot of shooters, a lot of high school, middle school shooters that need to shoot every single day in order to groove their shot. And because of the way that the club schedule is, their outside shooting isn't quite as good as it normally would be. And so you go into a zone, poor shooting, now you have a chance to shut down their offense. The other thing is most of us coaches, we hate to admit it, but playing zone is not quite as strenuous as playing really tough, hard-nosed man-to-man. And so by playing some zone, you can save your own players' legs, and you can keep them a little bit fresher throughout the weekend, so they still have something left in game 5 and 6. If you'll play some box and 1 or some triangle and 2, maybe even a 1-3-1, a lot of teams just don't have the time to practice and prepare for those types of zones. And so as a result, it kind of, the offense breaks down, and then it kind of comes down to, rule number 1, who has the most talent. But anyway, those 3 things will definitely help win games in the summer. Abundance of talent, press, and play some zone. Now, there are a few more things that I want to go over, but we're going to do that in a separate video. So keep an eye out for how to win summer games part 2. In an earlier video, I gave you 3 ways that will help you win more summer games, more club games over the summer. And now I'd like to give you 3 more. Now, these don't replace the earlier ones. They're just adding to that list. The first one is don't start your 5 best players. You know, since most players pay big bucks to play on club teams, you know, a lot of coaches and club directors, you know, feel obligated to play everybody exactly the same. And as a result, many teams actually go 5 in and 5 out. And so what you want to do is make sure your second unit is better than your opponent's second unit. And you simply do that by not starting your best players. Make sure you have either your top player or your second best player playing with that second group. Also in that second group, you want to use a defense that is going to create turnovers. Press, like we talked about in the earlier video. You just want to make life miserable for the second unit point guard. You know, chances are he is going to play for a predetermined amount of minutes, regardless if he's protecting the ball or throwing it over. And so if you can get to him and get him rattled and create some turnovers, you've got a chance to blow the game open. The second thing that you can do is to scout and prepare. Now, I know over the spring and summer, coaching is not a big factor as it is during the school year, but that doesn't mean it has to be a non-factor. Go watch the other teams that you're playing. You don't need to come up with a detailed, intricate scouting report. You just need a few tiny bits of information that is going to make you better prepared than your opponent. Do they play man-to-man? Do they play zone? Do they press? What do they do on offense? Do they have one main scorer? Do they have several scorers? How do they sub? Do they sub one at a time? Do they sub 5 in, 5 out? All those are things that might give you a slight advantage here or there that might be enough to help you win the game. Do you need to walk through some things? Then use the parking lot. You know, the lines on a parking space make a great key. We've done that numerous times. Use the parking space as a key and use a rolled up towel or a pillow as a ball and walk through what you want to do on both offense and defense. Not only is it a good reminder and a good, you know, time to teach your players, but it's also going to give them some extra confidence knowing that they're going to be a little bit more prepared than the team that they're playing. And plus, another side benefit of that is that the parents are going to appreciate, you know, the extra effort. They're going to appreciate you taking the time to do that. They're going to know that they're getting, you know, more bang for their buck, you know, essentially. And then the third way to help you win more games is to limit your roster size. Now, look, why do you have a team in the first place? You know, is it to have fun? Is it to travel to different places? Is it to play against top-notch competition? Is it to help your players get additional exposure from college coaches? Hey, all those are great reasons, but none of them require that you have 10 or 12 players on your roster, especially if you have to play everybody exactly the same. Look, when I was a kid, we used to play hours on end at the park and at the city gym. So I know that 8 and certainly 9 players can play 5 or 6 games over 3 or 4 days. I mean, I know that for a fact. And if they can't, then it's your job to get them in better shape so they can do that. Look, fewer players means more playing time, means better team chemistry, which is really important when you're assembling an all-star team who's never played together before. It means more exposure for the players who are playing. Look, charge more money, find a sponsor, do more fundraising, but do whatever you can to keep your roster numbers down. So look, to recap, hey, the 3 things that in this video that we're talking about to win more summer games: Don't start your 5 best players. Scout and prepare for the next game. And limit your roster size. Now, if you will do those 3 things, combined with the 3 things that we talked about in our earlier video, then you're going to win more games in the summer. You're going to be in the winner's bracket. You're going to get your players more exposure. You're going to have more fun, and you're going to get more games out of it.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like touchdown, because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. And it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 5-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.